ridiculous. My computer decided I had to restart it. Sorry about that. We're going to get right back into the story with the Florida mother who was trying to sell her child for $500. So the mother was in Florida, in Palatka, Florida. She was spotted standing outside of an H&R Block location with her 18-month-old toddler, and she was approached by one of the bank's employees. The employee recognized Jessica Woods, the woman you see there, 33 years old. The mother was frequently in the area, and she even would come into the bank to use the restroom to change her daughter. At one point, Woods was spotted hitting her daughter with her elbow and spanking her inside the bathroom, according to the probable cause affidavit. So let's see here. Let me pull this. Here's the picture of the H&R Block location where she was standing outside of it. Looks pretty, it looks like a strip mall that has not been touched since literally the, early 70s. It's really kind of, I'm trying to make that a little bit bigger. Let's see. But this is where she was standing outside this H&R Block. And so the employee confronted the mother and asked if she or the child needed any help. And that's when Jessica Woods demanded money. And the employee said that she would buy her items but not give her cash. At that, Jessica Woods became enraged and threw her child. Oh my gosh. And still, she somehow is leaving with that child. I mean, I can't even believe this. Later in the day, around 2 p.m., the witness said that Jessica Woods crossed that busy street and went over to talk with her. She put the baby down on the ground near some grass. Okay, the baby began to crawl towards the busy road. The worker picked up the baby, and at that point, Jessica Woods offers to sell her daughter for $500. Now, according to this affidavit, the woman said she would not give her any money, and then Jessica Woods replied, "You can have it looks like she called the baby a bad name, okay? And then she just walks away. So the worker, thank goodness, took that child into H&R Block and cleaned her up. This is apparently, I don't know, one of the, another mugshot here. I don't know why that, she wouldn't just get that child, I'm glad she finally got that child away, but it's like, she antagonized her, whatever, and then she disappeared with that baby when they've already seen her hitting that baby. I mean, come on, right? It's just like, I don't know. So wait, that's not all. Hold on a minute. Now, the child had a bruise on her face, so allegedly she's being abused by this mother who, again, was seen hitting her child. And so she brings her in the H&R Block and she gets her cleaned up. And now Woods has been charged, Jessica Woods has been arrested and charged with child abuse, child neglect, abandonment of a child, and selling a minor for money. Then, hang on, here's what happened. Jessica never returned to the H&R Block to take custody of the child. This is scary because it makes it sound like that banking, the H&R Block employee would have given her the child back had she come into that office. But what she did was she took the 18-month-old to the Palatka Police Department and told them what happened. And then they were familiar with this woman, and officers provided care to the officers in the Department of Victim Advocacy provided care to the child until the Department of Children and Family Services took custody of the child, who has now been placed in foster care. Woods has been charged with child abuse, child neglect, abandonment of a child, and selling a minor for money. She was located and arrested on March 7th and transported to the Putnam County Jail. Her bond was initially set at $255,000, and court documents appear to show she was ordered not to have any contact with her victim. Let's see. So I don't know. I mean, it's just crazy, right? Isn't it? Crazy. But let's talk about then the other. Oh my goodness. Let me get over here to Kouri. Okay. I'm glad that you guys found your way back here. I am really sorry that it ended, and I'm glad we got them. I think we got everybody back in that was here before. So great. Thank you so much. I don't know what the freak, like I said, why it would just do that like that out of the blue, but thank you all for coming back. Hi, Jane Dowson. Hi, Painted Black. Hi. Dina Elizabeth, hello there. Hi, Sandra M. Hi, Sherry, Kevin, Margot, everybody that's here. Thank you so much. Okay, let's talk about Kouri Richins, the LDS woman who is charged with poisoning her husband with a Moscow Mule that was spiked with fentanyl, and he died. But now they're saying, allegedly, that her mother may be involved in this. So let me get that up here for us. And okay. I just want to get a picture of Kouri up here. Those of you that follow us, you'll know this case. Okay. So you would have thought this couple had it all, right? Kouri and Eric Richens. They were married for 9 years. They had 3 sons. They had successful careers. They lived in a huge home. She was this flipper real estate, professional, where she was getting like huge multi-million-dollar mansions and, then flipping them and all of that. So you would think they had it all, right? From the outside, they looked picture perfect. But what's happening is that facade is cracking, and the reality of what was happening, started to really come to light when Eric Richens, the man you see there, died unexpectedly of fentanyl poisoning at the age of 39 at their home on March 3rd of 2020. 2022. Okay, so I can't even believe that case is already 2 years old already. Gosh, it feels like it just happened like last year. This doesn't make any sense that it's that old already. Then she went on, let me tell you this, to write a book about grief and helping her children cope and going on this book tour and all of this stuff, because she wasn't caught right away. Okay, she was I think it was like in May. It took till the end of May, and she was already going on this book tour. Isn't that crazy? Okay. Now, authorities who in 2023 charged Kouri with aggravated murder and drug possession for allegedly poisoning Eric with an illicit drug as a means to collect millions in life insurance funds as her motive. But that same night that Eric died, authorities say he, Kouri, and her mother's name is Lisa Darden, they were celebrating Kouri's recent closure on a $2 million mansion that was under construction in Wasatch. The mansion, the 33-year-old who owned the real estate company wanted to finish building the mansion that was not finished and then sell it, flip around and sell it for a profit. But there was a problem. Her husband didn't want to do this, okay? And then next thing you know, this guy's got a Moscow Mule in his hand, and she says they're celebrating, but he's dead soon after. So come on, that doesn't sound like any kind of celebration anybody wants. So like I said, after he died, she went on to write a children's book about their father's death, that was titled Are You With Me? But now these unsealed search warrants reveal what could be an even darker picture of the family. And remember, she is the one, too, that was trying to pass these notes through to her mother, like in, remember we read them? Yeah, okay. Telling people to lie for her. Yeah. So in May of 2023, a Summit County Sheriff's Office detective submitted a search warrant affidavit expressing his belief that Darden may have been involved in planning and orchestrating Eric's death. Darden being that woman right there, her mother. Okay? Her mother. How many parents do we have involved in crimes like this? Are the Stamping Up parents involved with their daughter, murdering her estranged husband? What about, Donna Adelson, and what she's doing for Wendy? Like, what is wrong with these parents if they're doing this stuff? Anyhow, so they think this based on the connection that the mother has with a suspicious death back in 2006. So in the investigation, it was discovered that in 2006, Kouri Richins' mother, Lisa Darden, was living with an adult female with whom she was having a romantic relationship. In April of that year, this partner of hers dies unexpectedly, right? The autopsy reveals that the partner's cause of death was a drug poisoning from an overdose of oxycodone. Okay, sound familiar? Further investigation showed that Lisa Darden had been named the beneficiary of her partner's estate a short time before her death. The victim, the partner who is deceased, did have current prescriptions for oxycodone, and she reportedly struggled with abusing her meds. She, however, was not in a state of recovery from addiction at the time of her death. And that would likely rule out the possibility of an accidental overdose. The detective further stated that based on Darden's proximity to her partner, the suspicious overdose death, as well as her close relationship with her daughter, it is possible she was involved in planning and orchestrating Eric Richens' death. Sky Lazaro, who's Kouri Richins' attorney, denied the detective's suggestion, saying that Darden's partner was a victim of the national opioid crisis, which killed 112,000 Americans between May 2022 and May 2023, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Lazaro said in a statement, and I quote, "Summit County is well aware that opioid addiction and fentanyl overdose is a rampant problem throughout the county. According to the CDC, 150 people die every day from overdose related to synthetic opioids like fentanyl," Lazaro said in a statement to Fox News Digital. So Lazaro then continued, and I quote, "Not only was Summit County the first Utah county to file a lawsuit against Big Pharma opioid manufacturers and distributors in 2022, Park City Police, the Summit County Sheriff, Summit County Attorney, and Park City School District issued a joint statement to its citizens warning they're finding an increasing amount of fentanyl, a drug fueling a surge in accidental overdoses nationwide." Darden's partner, Lazaro said, was one of the millions that suffered from and ultimately succumbed to opioid addiction, which is hardly suspicious. She went on to say it is tragic and unfortunate, and unfortunately quite common. In November of 2023, an interview with ABC's Good Morning America, Darden insisted upon her daughter's innocence, saying she said, and I quote, "I do not believe in my heart that Kouri could ever kill Eric, but kill anyone or anything," Darden said. And after that, she added that Kouri and Eric were a couple that were very much in love and very happy. Court documents suggest otherwise, and the prosecutors alleged that Kouri purchased 4 different life insurance policies on Eric's life that totaled more than $1.9 million, and that was between 2015 and 2017. Eric Richens' estate planning attorney, Crystal Bowman Carter, said he made and requested several unusual to highly unusual choices and provisions to his estate plan prior to his sudden death, including the decision to take Kouri off of his will and make his sister and father the beneficiaries instead. His family told the authorities that he had been in fear for his life after Kouri allegedly tried to poison him several years ago in Greece and then again on Valentine's Day of 2022. So Bowman Carter said that Eric approached her in 2020 to discuss his estate planning. And she said, and I quote, "At our meeting, he told me he had 2 primary goals. His first goal was to protect him in the short term with fairly recently discovered and ongoing abuse and misuse of his finances by his wife, Kouri Richins. His second was to protect the 3 young sons he and Kouri had together in long term by ensuring that Kouri would never be in a position to manage his property after his death." Eric believed that designating someone other than his wife to manage his property after his death would protect his sons from Kouri's poor financial choices and decisions, she added. Eric also made clear that while he wanted his children to be the primary beneficiaries of his estate, Kouri should only benefit from the minimum amount he was required to leave her, and that she could not control either her share or the children's share of Eric's estate. He went on to choose his sister and father as his successor trustees. On January 1st, 2022, months before Eric's death, Kouri changed the beneficiary for his $2 million life insurance policy to herself, the document stated. Eric received a notification about the change and switched the beneficiary back to his business partner. Three months later, Kouri allegedly spiked her husband's Moscow Mule with fentanyl, an opioid that is lethal in small doses while they were celebrating Kouri's purchase of the $2 million Wasatch County mansion, which had apparently been a subject of disagreement for the couple. And the next day, Kouri allegedly closed a deal on the mansion alone after her husband was pronounced dead. Kouri's defense attorney, Sky Lazaro, said during a bail hearing last summer that making a poor financial decision does not make her client a murderer. Let's see. When authorities contacted Bowman Carter asking her to explain the details of Eric's will to Kouri, the lawyer said the defendant became extremely upset and started yelling, according to the court documents. Kouri shouted, "What's wrong with you people? And how could you do this to me?" "This is my house." Bowman Carter said, "I explained to her that the trust owned the house and told her this is not your house." Summit County Sheriff's Office referred, okay, that's it. So, yeah, they're thinking that the mother has some involvement. That's just absolutely crazy, isn't it? What do you think? Is that crazy? It is crazy. I'm telling you guys that oh my gosh. Hi 61. Hi, Jane. Very greedy. Yeah. And I was going to talk to you a little bit just about some updates in that, let me get that graphic up here for Preston Lord, okay? Because, and in covering them, then I was given some information about another gang that, again, as we talk about LDS, would you believe that, okay, we're going to talk about this in just a second. Let me get photo up here. Hold on a minute. And we talked about this case in depth last night. Preston Lord killed October 28th, 2023. Allegedly by at least 3 people who are facing charges now. And today we have some more information that while they said in his case the people were part of this Gilbert Goons sort of gang, that's not really a gang, but what they're referred by. And they're actually some of them, if not all of them, the sons of prominent families, especially one of them, and the father who tried to help his son escape any accountability on this at all. And he also, you know, it's just, he was arrested and his other son was arrested. So this is the young man that was murdered, but it's just crazy. So you have that one family where they're all 2 brothers arrested, along with the father. And I'm sorry, I'm yawning. I just cannot help it. I'm just tired. But I just want to talk to you a little bit about it. So again, they had the goons, right? The Gilbert Goons. But think about Devil Dog. This is the information that was given. Devil Dog Gang in Gilbert, Arizona. And you are going to hear something about this. Hold on one second. Why is this not working? Okay. All right, here we go. So the Devil Dogs left scars on Gilbert, according to the research I've been doing. And they started in 1999, and it's a gang of violent teenagers, okay, and they have ties to Sammy the Bull Gravano, and It's crazy what's going on here, but it was like a white power group, and so here's what happened. They attacked strangers with their fists. Several landed jail sentences in 2000, and many more were captured on film and videotape, yelling racial slurs and flashing white power hand signs. So the white upper middle class suburb in Arizona and school leaders are shocked by the incidences of this and the allegations of bigotry. Some say the push for diversity is healing the wounds inflicted by the devil dogs, and others say that it has been slowed by the community's continued unwillingness to talk openly about how a gang of hate-inspired young people could have festered in the neighborhoods for so many years. So the Devil Dogs was the latest incarnation of a gang that had festered in the city for nearly 7 years. Police and court records show that the white supremacist gang had begun at the Highland High School. Well, there'd been an investigation there since 1993. Members changed, as did the group name in any given year. The mayor, Cynthia Dunham's, directed that Gilbert adopted a character education program and formed a diversity task force with dozens of residents flocking to bi-monthly meetings to tell stories and encourage change. One of them is a man named Larry Lee. He is an African American who has lived in Gilbert since 1989, and he said he was warned about the Devil Dogs in 1992 and then listened for years to people who didn't believe it existed. And he said, and I quote, "It bothered me. I could have been one of their victims." A new era of tolerance. With school district employee Chris Ybarra, Lee helped direct a residents group that wrote the school's first policy against racial harassment. In January, Lee will begin working on a policy against religious harassment. Lee has gotten to know Sherry Jarvis, a Mesa mother of one of the Devil Dog victims who attends nearly all the diversity sessions. Her son, Jordan Jarvis, who is white, was disfigured in a gang attack more than a year ago and has had to undergo several facial plastic surgeries. Sherry says the lives of everyone in her family have been changed by the ordeal, and she is committed to undergoing and she is committed to promoting tolerance and changing Gilbert. And I quote her saying, "People have told me to quit. You're white," they'd say. "They don't understand. I think Jordan was assaulted because there just didn't happen to be a black person around," is what she said. Police reports show the gang members would yell racial slurs as they attacked Jordan, who did not want to comment. Now, gang members busted in February. Police in Gilbert, Mesa, and Phoenix connected the Devil Dogs to former mafia hitman Sammy the Bull Gravano and a ring that trafficked in the designer drug called ecstasy. Gravano, who is in jail awaiting trial, and more than 35 other people were arrested. Former Gilbert gang detective Mike Sanchez said not all of Gilbert wanted to shed light on the gang, even after the Gravano arrests. Many still try to hush-hush everything and the mention of the gang because it's embarrassing to the town. There is still a Gilbert mystique, a false sense of security. People think they'll be safer if they move to the suburbs, but there's really no utopia. Look what happened in Columbine. And then there was that home invasion in Alwataki. Let's see. And then somebody uncovered that these kids were being recruited in, and they have Latter-day Saints families, and so we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna keep looking into that. But right now, I am just like so exhausted. I'm gonna play word cookies. I am so tired. I just feel like I've been going, and we have an auction. It may start early tomorrow, so hi, Emmy. We gotta, get that. And let's see. Sandra said, I think that these goons were jealous of Preston and targeted Preston during the Halloween party. Okay, let me get the word cookies up. Oh, I want to go to bed so bad. You just don't know how bad I want to go to bed. Okay, let's do the word cookies. Do the word cookies. We'll be okay. Everything's going to be all right. Okay. What far? Okay. Far, so it has to be Prague. Okay, and it has to be Farrago. Farrago. And not so long ago, I fell in love with him for the second show. I can't even think. Thank you. Okay, that's it. I have to call it a night, guys. I am gonna fall like asleep, and it's gonna be embarrassing. And you're just gonna hear like thud. So let me figure out how to close this down. I don't know where my live chat is. To go to my studio. I am so tired. I cannot believe where this day went. But thank you all for coming. God bless. Prayers. Love you guys. And be good. Well, God bless. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow. I love you. Tomorrow. You're always A day away. All right. Good night, everybody. Hope to see you at the sale tomorrow.